All right, we're gonna start our video here. So what I've got made up for you at this point is I have the solutions that I need to proceed in the experiment. So I've got a solution of 0.5 molar nitric acid. I've got a solution of 0.2 molar iron nitrate. I've got a solution of 0.002 molar hydrogen thiocyanate, or HSCN, and then I have the more dilute iron that is 0.002 molar of the iron nitrate. So going to the instructions, the first thing I need to do in the instructions is I want to make this standard. So I'm trying to get an idea if the camera's pointed in the right direction. So I'm going to be at part A. So I need to mix 1/2 ml of the 0.002 hydrogen thiocyanate. And I don't have any test tubes in my lab upstairs, so I'm going to mix these in the tube that's a small vial. These are a 20 ml vial in one that's marked standard. So I've got my micro pipetter, and I need to set the volume so that it reads 1/2 ml. So let's go to 0.50. And then if I go to my solution, make sure I'm getting the right things, it needs to be the 0.002 molar hydrogen thiocyanate. So that's this solution. So I'm going to pull that up. Dispense that in my standard. Make sure I blow it out. I'm going to move a trash can closer. Okay. My next reagent is 2.5 mils of the 0.2 molar iron nitrate. So this is the 0.2 molar iron nitrate. So I'm going to put 1/2 ml in there first. So I put the 1/2 ml in, and immediately I see a color forms in the vial. So now I'm going to put an additional 2 mils. So I'm going to turn the micro pipetter up to 100, so that's 1,000 microliters or 1 milliliter. And there's 1 mil. And there's a second mil. All right, so I'm going to throw that tip away. Now the last thing that I need to do is need to add the 7 mils of the 0.5 molar nitric acid. So I've already got my large pipetter set at 7 mils. So I'm going to disperse that volume. Okay, so now I've got my 7 mil volume. I'm going to put that back over here. I'll have to reuse that again in a second. So this is going to be my standard that I've made up of the complex. So this is going to make a solution of the iron cyanate at 1 × 10⁻⁴ molar. And it tells me to read the percent transmission at 447. We may change that wavelength just a little bit, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make my other solutions up. So I'm going to set this one back a little bit so it's out of the way. So I'm going to put it at the back of my piece of paper. So I'm going to start making all of these solutions. So now what I need to use is I don't need to use this 0.2 molar. I'm going to put it out of the way of iron nitrate. What I need to do is the 0.002 molar iron nitrate, 0.002. So this is the one I want to bring forward. And actually I want to put the same volume in every one of the vials. So I need 2.5 milliliters in that. So I really don't have a nice convenient way to deliver 2.5 milliliters. So the way that I'm going to do it is use my large pipette, and I'm going to dial it in to 2.5. I think somewhere in the Gen Chem lab we have some that are 5 mils, but I don't have any of those available. Spare pipette tip, so that's a much larger pipette tip. All right, so it's set on 2.5 mils, and I want to put that same volume in every tube. There's tube 1. There's tube 2. Tube 3. Tube 4. And tube 5. And just kind of a visual check that I'm going to do to make sure that everything's working right. Since those all have the same volume, they should all be about the same height, and that's exactly what I see. They all have about a ½ centimeter height inside of the vials. So everything looks pretty good with that reagent. So I'm going to put that one to the back so I don't mix it up with anything else. Now the next thing I need to add is the required volume of the 0.002 molar hydrogen thiocyanate, or HSCN. So this varies anywhere from 1/2 ml up to 2.5 mils. So I'm going to use my small pipetter. Oops, this is my large one. Let's go back to our smaller pipetter, and we're going to put 1/2 ml in the first one. Now I could just do increments of 1/2 ml, or I could do some larger volumes with it, and that's probably what I'll do. So I'm going to put 1/2 ml in this first one, and the moment it hits that, it should start forming color, and it does. It gives me some color. The next one's going to need 1/2 ml is number 3, so I'm going to put 1/2 ml in 3. And then I also need 1/2 ml in number 5, because 5 is going to need a total of 2.5. So number 5, I'm going to throw that, I'm going to keep that tip on there because I'm going to reuse it. And now I need to add the 1 ml volumes to the different tubes. So tube 2, needs 1 ml. Tube 3 needs an additional 1 ml. So that went on top of the 1/2 ml that I already put in there. Tube 4 is going to need 2 mils. So there's 1 and 2. And then finally tube 5 already has 1/2 ml. It's going to need an additional 2, so there's 1 and 2. All right, so the last thing I need to do is I need to add the last reagent. So the last reagent is the 0.5 molar nitric acid, and I need to vary from 1/2 ml. Actually, number 5 is used as it is. Okay, but in number 4, I'm going to look at, I guess I'll start at 1 and work my way up. So let's look at number 1. I need just 2 mils